Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance for this fine Saturday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And I'm kind of smirking because this card so dovetails with yesterday's card and where we appear to be going on our little journey here together in our earth walk. So I was quite pleased with the card that popped up today. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. You're the first one here today. Glad to have you. And today I am actually going with my friend Kathy to see the traveling exhibit. Good morning, Joe Neal. Welcome. The traveling exhibit for making reparations to the indigenous people who were taken from their homes as children and put into Indian schools that were largely run by various church groups, Catholics, Episcopals, etc., at the behest of the U.S. government. So, good morning, Barb. Glad you're here. So, I'm interested in seeing the traveling exhibit that puts the story out there. Yeah. So, our card for today, again, like I said, so dovetails with yesterday's. Hello, Barb. Did I say hello? One of those mornings. Running a little bit behind, and I need to be out the door by 20 after 7, so I'm kind of cognizant of time today. And interestingly, when I first shuffled the deck and opened to a first card, it was the DNA card that we had. Was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And so I asked, am I meant to read this card again? And the answer was no. Basically, we're just revisiting it a bit, but there's a different card for today. So let's do some breathing and some tapping. You can do the Tarzan approach, whatever works for you. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slowing it down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I'm hoping for you that during the course of the day, if you find yourself ramping up, that you use the breath to slow yourself back down. We need a slower pace in our world right now. So, card deck, as you probably figured out. Yesterday, that's good, yes. Glad to have little kids tapping, because this is something they're actually teaching in some school systems, which is working very well for helping kids with test anxiety, helping with the social aspects of being a kid in school, etc., which I just think is fabulous. Fabulous. Earth Magic, Stephen Farmer. There's Gaia holding some of her creatures. And our card for today is Milky Way. Perspective. Perspective. And as I read this one, let's see if you all end up with a smirk on your face as well, because it's like, oh yeah, the universe is calling us out here. Milky Way. Perspective. The Milky Way is said to be one of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. Billions. It contains between 200 and 400 billion stars, the one most familiar to us being the Sun. The oldest star in our galaxy is 13.2 billion years old, said to be nearly as old as the universe itself, which is by our fallible human perspective. So don't be surprised if in the next however many years, once we get science back on track, there isn't more information that expands these numbers. And the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Distances are measured in light years, and the Milky Way galaxy is believed to be 100,000 light years in diameter. The enormity and vastness stagger the mind, and some people, when their mind is staggered, instead of becoming curious and humble, shut down. Nope, can't go there. If I can't conceive of it in my little human brain, I don't want to know about it. La 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 la. We need to expand beyond that. The enormity and vastness stagger the mind and challenge the imagination, yet it also gives us some notion of where we fit in all of this. Considered from this perspective, our usual frame of reference is put to task. We're faced with the choice of abandoning our myopic vision in favor of seeing and accepting the bigger picture, or we can just allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by a sense of smallness and helplessness. Yet know that we're composed of material from those very stars that inhabit the Milky Way. Thus, we're connected to Earth and the entire universe at all times, in life and in death. So now here's the part that's talking directly to us. And I want you to think about your current circumstances, your trials and tribulations, the things that are causing you difficulty right now. You have lost your perspective. So it is time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses, not just your physical senses, your intuition, your clairs, all the senses. Well, all the ones that we're now bringing online. Let's try that. And regain your perspective about the situation. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. It is an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. Be curious. Be curious. The witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes, it's what I call the curious observer, everything in your life, offers his or her eyes here. And I would guess those eyes are gender neutral, but who knows? Through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experiences, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, without denying anything. By doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective than is typically justified by the ego, which allows us to see what is before you with clear vision and an open mind. So when you have that greater perspective, you can truly see with clear vision and an open mind. No, not easy to do, but well worth the time and effort and practice. Nothing was easy to do. Learning to walk, learning to whistle, learning to tie your shoes, learning to ride a bike, learning to drive a car. None of it was easy. So it being easy, you can choose if you want that to be your excuse. This isn't easy. Nope, but it's worth doing. Little kids, when they're learning to walk, they spend more times on their butts than they do on their feet, but they keep going because there's an innate drive for gaining mastery over this skill. We have an innate drive over mastery of many skills, including the ability to shift perspectives. And when our perspective begins to do this thing, you're kind of like it's doing for many at this point in time, we need to be willing to do the not easy thing and go, have a bigger perspective. Take the blinders off. Don't allow fear to cloud your perspective. So, I'd like our theme for today to be, isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? Whatever it is, whatever little aspect of the difficulty, the drama presents itself to you. Isn't this interesting? I wonder what I meant to learn from this. Isn't this interesting? So try it on. Let me know tomorrow how that goes. Haven't figured out how to do Curious Observer. First step, set the intention. Set the intention. Second step, allow the awareness that there is the Curious Observer perspective. Go back to that story, Barb, of the blind men touching the elephant. From your perspective, sighted, standing back, seeing the elephant, seeing all of them grabbing a different part of the elephant, you can see the limitation of their perspectives, right? Each perspective is limited. You, from standing back, have a more expanded perspective. Use that model for all of this, So You are the blind man with your hand holding the tail, touching the leg, holding the trunk, touching the side, whatever it is, whatever aspect you're at right now. Even imagining, allowing that, there's much more here than I'm aware of right now, begins the expansion process. So that's a place to start. That's a place to start. So, can't wait to hear how this goes. Have an awesome day. I'll let you know what I learn and observe today, because I think it's going to be a very interesting, emotional day. We'll see. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.